everything. You know, we're getting immigrants in that hate the Queen, they hate democracy, they hate everything. Yeah, they're the ones that can stay here and freeze. So a good citizens that want to work, leave the country. It's gonna do a fascist dump with CPC, Jorgen Peterson, all those don't denounce them. Uh, you know, the clown show. They make Justin Trudeau look like a clown. Well, he wears outfits to look like a clown. They just pure clowns. They just pure clowns. You know, Andrew Scheer. Oh, God, you lost, man. Shut up. Now you got the Pierre pull up. Oh boy. You know, a man that's been shot at doesn't want to hear that you can freedom is having guns. I'm giving up on Canada. I'm wiping my Canadian citizenship and putting it in the toilet with my renunciation of Canadian citizenship to become an Australian full citizen. They elected a Labor government. We'll give them a try. And they're not going to have barriers uh, to China. They've been trade partners for a long time, so they'll keep even New Zealand will keep a trade with them. They'll trade. They might trade missiles, interballistics off the coast. Boom. They hate conservatives. Did you know that? I've got articles. Chinese really hate the CPC. So elect them. And I got a microwave. You just crawl in there, I'll nuke you. Because that's what might happen. I'm serious. You're so divided up. That's the way right-wing fashion. You don't know who is. CSIS was talking about this. You don't know who is telling what. You know, right-wing extremists. It's a confused mind. So I'm studying psychotherapy and of another school, the Academy of Ancient Magic, the Academy of from Britain. They'll give me international certification. There's a few academies I study under, and I'm trying to get well-rounded in spiritual healing and teaching, and NLP and EFT, not drug therapy. I'm knowing that I have to remove things that doesn't serve people. And empowering people makes a stronger country because they speak out and they become activists and they write ethically letters to their prime minister and they vote. They don't negate voting, which Canada does. All the silent voices feel so silent in Canada with all these loudmouths on here. There's a lot of good that could come out of the individual. No good can come out of human collectives when they're going extremes. They're like Icarus, you know, he flew so high. Oh, that's the oil industry. Wildfires burning. His wings are getting melted and he's going to fall to the earth. He thought he was God. Icarus. And that goes along with cryptocurrencies too. Become Icarus. Lose the grounding of where you are on earth. Gold and silver is the fortitude of countries building its economy back. Any country in the world has a chance to be above the cryptocurrencies and junk and formulate small independent banks and cooperatives. And vaults are private, not with the Federal Reserve or anything like that. Don't be Icarus. Don't expect blockchain or anything that'll do that to you. Because there is a melting wing coming in and a windstorm called what NASA predicts is electrical grid going out. It went out into 1885. It was solar flares. And they come around and they wipe out. Well, they wiped out. They wiped out telegraph. This will wipe out everything. So where's your money in blockchain? Boom. Where's your money in a Federal Reserve? Gone. The Singapore slings, I don't like them. They got the screwdriver with them. You Aussies, listen to your federal government. They're ranting to try to get you to get away from mass housing complexes. Australia's a big country. Build the houses, live in rural developments, and then build an infrastructure that's affordable. Don't listen to all that rhetoric. Yeah, I think the Labour government's got a good plan. And I think Australia's getting to talk about things. Good Australian will know. Pay your taxes, obey the law. My taxes are way too high here. They're all going to subsidies of oil companies. There's no discussion here. That's where all the money's going to. Equalization payments going out to Alberta and BC because they got gas lines. That's why they're wealthy. Ontario, we're kissing the butts of Albertans. The Canadian Federation was in 1867 in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. And it brought out a standard called equalization payments. But we didn't have to give them the money to keep Canada afloat. The federal system is just woo. Now they want independence because they got all the money. You know what I'm doing? I'm flying. I got an Air Canada airplane. I'm just saving money here. I'll build my business here. I'll work on litigation under round 5. I got to file complaints against the worker at the company called Ontario. And I found a file there. Right them. Now, I'm going to get it all cleaned up. I'm just doing it bit by bit. I go and I do angel therapy and I pray to God. And I clear my head with tapping because I get so stressed not figuring the system's so sick. I feel sorry for our Canadian Armed Forces veterans trying to get through a post-traumatic stress. So I'm going to write a book on PTSD and what I'm learning. I'm working with Arizona trauma therapy, I think modular courses. I'm learning energy healing and everything. Anything that'll work. NLP, cognitive behavioral therapy. Everything I can. Because I'll tell you something. YouTube has had criticisms, and I listen to them. Like that man over there, I'll try to improve my service, sir. Well, that's what I try to do. You criticize, let's say, you're a therapist, but they're not therapists, life coaches. I'll do it all. I got time to learn. I don't believe I can't do things. I believe the institutionalized systems are restrictive and not getting us anywhere in health and lessons. Now, am I against therapists? Well, depends what tools you're using. If you're continuing your professional status and growing your knowledge and having an open mind, I support you. Same with medical doctors. Any field, I support. There's progressive. Not progressive conservative. Progressive conservative is power and corruption. They're not conservative. They're nothing what they say. They're forked tongues, being forked tongues for years. Yeah, twisted words, just like Jordan Peterson. Twisted promises, twisted words. There's a lot of prophets out there. Don't do Reiki as Sadhguru. I'm sorry, I use Reiki. Don't do this. Don't touch yourself. Be you. Be you. I want to give you freedom to be you, not gurus telling you what to do. He is not a guru. Sadhguru. He is not a guru. He's arrogant. You can see the ego manifesting in him. It's the fall of all spiritual teachers to become egoic. I try to keep the humble pie on the side of my table, not be egoic, and live by standards, not denouncing other traditions, other systems. You don't do that. It's unethical. And it's just the ego popping in. I am all sudden divinity. Listen to how pompous he is. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to Jordan Peterson. He's so twisted in what his idea of. You can't argue with a mouthpiece. I don't take drugs, Jorgen, and you can have Canada and your right-wing swingdingers. I'm a liberal. Labor Party will be a start for us Australians. Does it mean I'm a communist? No. I believe in having capital and having money in exchange for good value. I'm not a communist. But your type of capitalism is what I call free market greed. There's a type of capitalism that is golden age capitalism of people living in communities, having freedom to be good health and good livelihood. That's my form of capitalism, of happiness and family values, kindness, love. Not your capitalism of free market, let the buck friggin' fly. Let it distort the housing market. Freedom movement for a few. And they always fall. There's a karmic debt of Icarus, and they'll fall to the ground. And that's what's happening now with the fires out of control and out west. The planet's burning up with them. And there's always karma. Karma is not a judgment. It is action causing reaction and all on top of it. So, studied NLP to break these stories. I don't want Australians having stories that don't serve them. I want them to examine what they're saying. And keeping a clear head all the time. Not getting mind hacked by profiteers on top of money lenders and greed. Ungodly greed. Money lenders are ungodly. They were read the end of growth. They were, the church said that's ungodly. Lending money and profit systems, it's ungodly. So you get into debt, and where do you go? Now you're into a debt system so bad in Canada, second mortgage might not be renewed. Now, you could blame it on Trudeau. You could blame it on anybody, but that's not the question. Right? I'm saying it's the Canadian citizens, and they're on that path of blindness. I mean, mesmerized by boxes called media. It was McLuhan said, the media is the message. That was true, Marshall McLuhan. I read your letter to Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau in a PDF. And warned about this. Well, we've got the NAFTA agreement and got all this oil in here, and they don't want to change. So they'd be telling woke stories like green scam, greenwashing. There's only one wash, green, to go completely green and go off grid and minimalize and clean up your life. You can live a environmentally clean life and not partake of these box stores. There's other ways to get food. I'm not using farms and buying direct. And I'm using, I'm minimalize. I'm going to go plant-based. Why? Because it's better for the planet. And it's better for my health. If I'm wrong, have it out with George LaRock, Montreal Canadiens enforcer. Completely vegan. The kindness we do to animals will be the kinder world. Alberta's still sending horses off to slaughter. It's in Edmonton and Calgary. They're sending draft horses off to be killed for Japanese delicacy. And Jan Arden is a brave woman as an entertainer. God bless you, Jan. And put every time somebody eradicates and tells you hope you die on stage, just take a screenshot and say, what a nice person. Because people see through them. When you can stand them out, an entertainer puts the spotlight on them that heckle. You that hides in the dark. That was Todd Grandin. He did a good concert at O'Keefe years ago. He put the lights on him. He's heckling something very serious about a poor man. And Todd was using his heart. So sometimes you have to stand up these narcissists and hecklers. And Jan's pretty brave to say that. Thank you, Jan Arden. You're vegan, too. And there's a lot of good people in Canada. But there's a lot of hecklers and there's a lot of noise on YouTube. Andrew Shears, you were a monster. You were on to bring firearms back. We've lost how many police officers? We got an opiate problem. You'll do anything to get in power. That's not good politics. That's scoundrel politics. Who told that? Well, he didn't have much use in car feet. Who was that? Napoleon Hill. He was a good capitalist, a good American. In God we trust. And he was a godly man. He wasn't a scoundrel. And it's easy to discern scoundrels, the ones that are attack dogs. We've had a scoundrel party, the CPC. They could change to a conservative party. That means fiscal, economic conservatism, and look and discuss things with people, but they don't. But you can elect them, and you're welcome to them, because I'm denouncing Canadian citizenship, because I can't even talk about environmentalism. I can't talk about anything. Shut up. That's all they say. Well, they keep talking loud. And activism is so sick. Well, you had activism. You had the truckers. They were a bunch of activists, and they were illegal. And there's a lot of concerns about it. They're talking about the DNA strand. They don't need to be putting out more vaccines. They say the World Health says no. Well, we need to get food in. And we need to support farmers and not have the green belt built over. We need grass, space, and land. And we don't need massive friggin' developments and money paid in by corporations. Let them crash. Let the economy crash. So we can start again. It's like cleaning up this floor. I got a lot of junk in here. Let it fall out. Throw it out. Put it down the chute. It's garbage. So our economy is going to crash. Everybody's going to go with it. You're going to lose your house. What are you going to do about it? Downsize when you got time. Downsize. Go rural and support farms and agriculture. The age of grassroots economies here. That's all you can do. You can't live in cities. They're violent. They got guns, the opiate crisis. We've done a lot of harm. Our doctors were unknowingly handing out opioids. So can we trust chemicals? Better living for modern chemistry? Well, it seems like Icarus. It flew its coop and went too high, and it burnt its wings. I find natural forms of healing and not labeling people. It's unethical to label people and keep them down. People get cognitive disabilities and functions. The first I see with is the eye of trauma. See with the lens of traumatic events that this person may have some traumatic events in their past, instead of analyzing. They're not machines. They're human beings with a whole story there. And it seems like I hear a lot of this. It's all about stories. It is all about stories. Your life's a story. Your trauma's a story. If you don't want to wake up to it, everything's a story from beginning to end. So I really have a heart issue when I hear this rubbish. This is the mind hacked program that you've been living on. Your life is a story. Know thyself and be thyself. That's what they don't want. They want you to be little slaves. I heard a guy there, he's laughed off LinkedIn. He says, just work hard until it's done. Well, let me tell you something. It doesn't come into balance with wife, family. It comes into balance with an addiction called workaholic. And it's working all the time is a fool. All play and all work and all play. Life is a balance. And it's good to work. It's good to go the extra mile. But they got it distorted again. The extra mile doesn't mean working and wasting your life while your wife and kids are not at home. It's causing mental health problems. It's causing families to fall apart. These ethic words are just rubbish without examination. And a clear heart and a clear mind will tell you the truth. So, and the eyes of conditioning. We've had one hell of a condition program in the past few years. The education system just went, whoa. I mean, made it so tough for kids to get through school. Am I denouncing education? No, I'm denouncing the methodology. I'm sort of a man that believes in online education as an empathic sensitive. I find I learn a lot of things, reading books, learning online, and then applying. But that's all you need to do. Learn it, get insured, and apply it. Get certified, insured, and apply. That's all you need to do. There's a lot of online academies. You don't have to go all over the world and create more housing disparities.